On one corner, we have progress, a super efficient way to keep our cities safe with AI-powered surveillance. On the other corner, we have privacy, the right to go about our daily lives without being constantly watched. Both sides believe they're doing the right thing. So which side are you on? Welcome to Duel of Concepts. Today we're going to explore two sides of the same coin when it comes to AI ethics. This is a Duel of Concepts deep dive. When we talk about artificial intelligence, we often focus on killer robots or image-generating AIs. But did you know that some of the most interesting applications of AI today are in surveillance? From predicting crime to spotting fake news, AI is being used to solve society's problems. However, there are concerns about the implications of using AI for surveillance. Is it really objective and fair, or does it perpetuate existing biases? Facial recognition, predictive policing, and behavior tracking systems all sound like science fiction, but they're becoming more and more common every day. And while these technologies can be helpful in some ways, they also present some serious ethical challenges. In this episode, we'll dive into how these systems actually work and why they're being adopted so quickly by governments and corporations. We'll also look at real-world case studies from around the world to see what the impact of AI surveillance is on people's lives. Finally, we'll try to answer the question of whether AI surveillance is something we should be embracing or fearing. In today's world, we're surrounded by technology that collects data about us. Every time we make a purchase, use a service, or even log onto a website, we're generating data that can be used to track our behavior and predict our future actions. This data is often collected without our knowledge and can be used for a variety of purposes, including marketing, advertising, and even law enforcement. One of the most controversial uses of this data is in the area of predictive policing. Predictive policing is a type of law enforcement that uses data analysis and predictive modeling to identify areas and individuals who are likely to be involved in criminal activity. By identifying these individuals and areas, law enforcement officials can allocate their resources more efficiently and potentially prevent crimes before they happen. However, there are a number of ethical concerns surrounding predictive policing. For example, the data used to train these models may contain biases that result in the wrongful profiling of certain groups of people. Additionally, the use of predictive policing can lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy, where law enforcement officials are more likely to target individuals in areas that have been flagged as high risk, even if those individuals are innocent. Another controversial use of data in surveillance is in the area of social credit systems. Social credit systems are designed to evaluate the trustworthiness of individuals based on their online behavior and social interactions. These systems are often used by businesses to make decisions about whether or not to extend credit to an individual and can have a major impact on a person's financial future. However, there are a number of ethical concerns surrounding social credit systems. For example, the criteria used to evaluate trustworthiness may be biased or unfair and can lead to discrimination against certain groups of people. Additionally, social credit systems can incentivize people to conform to the expectations of the system and can lead to a loss of individual autonomy. Despite these concerns, the use of AI and data mining in surveillance is rapidly expanding. Governments and corporations alike are investing heavily in these technologies, and they're becoming more and more prevalent in our everyday lives. There are a number of reasons for this trend. First, the cost of collecting and analyzing data has decreased dramatically in recent years. This has made it easier and cheaper for organizations to collect vast amounts of data and use it to improve efficiency or gain insights into customer behavior. Second, there is a growing demand for transparency and accountability in government and corporate operations. AI and data mining technologies can help meet this demand by providing insights into decision-making processes and identifying areas where improvements can be made. Finally, there is a growing recognition of the potential of AI and data mining to improve public safety and security. From predicting crime hotspots to identifying potential terrorists, these technologies have the potential to save lives and keep our communities safe. While the potential benefits of AI and data mining are clear, it's important to be aware of the ethical concerns surrounding these technologies. We must ensure that they are used responsibly and that they do not perpetuate existing biases or infringe on people's rights to privacy and security. One of the most well-known examples of AI-powered surveillance is China's social credit system. The system assigns each citizen a score based on their behavior, and this score can affect their access to services like loans, transportation, and even employment. While China claims that the system is voluntary, there are many reports of citizens being coerced into participating. The system has been criticized for being unfair and biased, as well as for violating people's right to privacy. Another example of AI surveillance in action is in the United States, where many cities are becoming what's known as smart cities. These cities use data and technology to improve efficiency and quality of life for residents. For example, some cities are using AI-powered cameras to monitor traffic patterns and optimize traffic flow. Other cities are using sensors to collect data on air quality, noise levels, and other environmental factors. While these initiatives have the potential to improve the lives of city residents, they also raise concerns about privacy and civil liberties. For example, some critics argue that the use of AI-powered cameras for traffic monitoring is a form of mass surveillance and that the data collected could be used for other purposes, such as law enforcement. These case studies illustrate both the potential benefits and the ethical challenges of AI surveillance. On the one hand, AI-powered surveillance can be used to improve efficiency and effectiveness in a variety of areas. On the other hand, it's important to be aware of the potential risks and to ensure that these technologies are used responsibly. One of the main concerns about AI surveillance is that it can blur the line between consent and monitoring. For example, when we use a service like Google Maps, we give up some of our privacy in exchange for the convenience of using the service. However, when we're constantly being monitored through AI-powered surveillance systems, it can feel like our privacy is being invaded, even when we're trying to exercise our right to free speech or assembly. Another concern is that AI surveillance can lead to wrongful profiling and discrimination. For example, if an AI system is trained on data that reflects existing societal biases, it can perpetuate and even amplify those biases, leading to the wrongful targeting of individuals or groups. Another concern with AI surveillance is that the data used to train these systems may not be representative of the population that they are used to monitor. This can lead to inaccurate predictions and unfair targeting of certain groups. It's also worth noting that the use of AI surveillance raises questions about the role of human oversight. As these systems become more sophisticated and autonomous, it's important to ensure that there are mechanisms in place to ensure that they're used ethically and responsibly. Another concern is that AI surveillance can be used to justify restrictions on civil liberties. For example, some argue that the use of AI-powered surveillance to monitor public spaces is a slippery slope towards a society where citizens are constantly monitored and controlled. Perhaps the most fundamental issue with AI surveillance is the fact that our legal frameworks simply haven't caught up with the exponential rate of technological advancement. Laws and regulations that were designed for a time when technology was much simpler are struggling to keep pace with the rapid development of AI and surveillance technologies. This leaves us in a legal gray area, where it's often unclear whether the use of AI surveillance is permissible or the rights of individuals are being violated. For example, laws regarding data privacy and security were enacted in a time when data was primarily stored on computers and servers. These laws often fail to address the unique challenges posed by AI surveillance systems, which can collect, analyze, and act on data in real time. Similarly, laws governing search and seizure were designed for a time when law enforcement officers had to physically obtain warrants to search private property. These laws don't always apply to the digital age where AI-powered surveillance systems can collect vast amounts of data without physical intrusion. This lack of legal clarity creates a number of challenges. It makes it difficult for individuals to know whether they're being treated fairly, and it gives companies and organizations free rein to implement AI surveillance systems without any oversight or accountability. It also creates uncertainty for law enforcement officials who need to enforce laws in a rapidly changing technological landscape. To address this issue, We need to develop legal frameworks that are better suited to the challenges of the digital age. This includes updating laws on data privacy and security to account for AI surveillance and clarifying the rules around search and seizure in the digital age. It also means developing new legal concepts and principles that can guide the use of AI surveillance in a way that respects the rights of individuals and protects civil liberties. This is an ongoing challenge, and it will require careful consideration and debate to strike the right balance between security and liberty. But this is only one part of the equation. Developing robust legal frameworks is essential, but it's not enough on its own. We also need strong ethical frameworks to guide the development and use of AI surveillance technologies. One such framework was proposed by a group of scholars from the University of Oxford, who developed the ethics guidelines for trustworthy AI. These guidelines provide a set of principles for the design, development, and deployment of AI systems that are intended to ensure that they are trustworthy, fair, and accountable. Another effort was undertaken by the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, which published a report on the use of AI surveillance in policing. The report provides an overview of the current state of AI surveillance in policing and makes recommendations for how law enforcement agencies can use AI in a way that respects civil liberties. Ultimately, the question of whether to embrace or fear AI surveillance is a complex one with no easy answers. While AI surveillance has the potential to bring many benefits, it's important to be aware of the potential risks and to take steps to mitigate them. Developing strong ethical frameworks and ensuring that our legal systems are up to date with the rapid pace of technological change are essential to striking the right balance between security and liberty. So what do you think? Are you optimistic about the potential of AI surveillance, or are you concerned about the risks? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching this episode of Duel of Concepts Deep Dive. If you liked it, please press the like button and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel.